149 raging horses from the Nissan Sentra SV. Ladies and gentlemen, we are test driving a 2022 Nissan Sentra SV 2.0 slow with the CVT transmission. 2.0 slow is maybe slightly unfair. It's not a super slow car. Way back in the day in Volkswagen world, that's what we used to call the Mark IV Jettas with the 2-liter engine. But this has got a little more power than those old single overhead cam Volkswagens. And it is a pretty nice little car to drive. The handling is good. The steering gives you some nice feel to it. The Nissan Sentra is always on the slightly sportier side of the compact car segment. It's definitely more fun to drive than a Corolla. Probably not quite as much fun to drive as a Civic. Overall, probably not quite as capable as a Subaru Impreza, but the steering feel is better in the Nissan. I like the transmission in this car. A lot of people hate the CVT automatics just across the board for no reason. Personally, I don't have a problem with CVTs, and I think this particular transmission is a good one. Interestingly enough, on this trim level, they don't give you any sort of paddle shifters or anything like that. You can put the gear selector into an L position, which just indicates a low gear. And what that does, I'll do it right now, is it just has the engine hold a higher RPM for you. And where this might come in handy is if you are going up a steep hill or down a steep hill to give you more power to go up, and so that you can use your brakes less when you're coming back down. It's also something that I would recommend somebody use in snowy or icy conditions. Just would give you a little bit more control there. You always want to go slower when you're in that kind of condition, but specifically coming downhill with limited traction, you want to make use of that. It's called compression braking, when you let the engine slow you down as opposed to hitting the brakes. You can maintain more control of the car that way. But I am in none of those conditions, so I'm going to bump it up to the standard D to quiet it down a little bit. I like the chassis on this car. It does give you some feedback from the road. It's not the smoothest ride in the class, but it's certainly not uncomfortable by any stretch of the imagination. Again, it does give the driver a little bit of a sporty feeling. It's very, I was about to say, it's very light traffic on this road today, but it does appear that there's a gentleman in front of us, but that's fine. We're currently doing just over 70 miles an hour. So that will give you an idea of road noise and refinement. The engine is not super refined, but it's not offensive. I certainly prefer this engine to Toyota's 4-cylinder engines. I find Toyota's 4-bangers to be kind of coarse and displeasing. I don't know. Toyota is an amazing company. Some of their engineering is beyond peer, but their 4-cylinder engines are not very good in my estimation. And that makes some Toyota owners pretty salty in the comments, but I don't know. That's just my opinion, I guess. That's okay if somebody wants to disagree with me. I'm not the most sensitive fellow in the world, although I am somewhat sensitive. The structure feels solid. This is a 2022 model, and it has just over 12,000 miles on it. So this is not a brand new car, but it is relatively new, but I don't have any squeaks or rattles to speak of in the cabin. So that speaks well for the build quality on the Nissan Sentra. I do like that about it. This one has the cold weather package, which if I was going to buy a Sentra SV, I would have to have that because it gives you heated front seats, which I love in a car. It gives you dual zone climate control, which is not something that you get very often in this class, so that's definitely a nice feature to have. It gives you a heated steering wheel, which is really something you don't get very often in this class. And it gives you the push button start from the key fob, so it gives you like the remote engine start. That feature I could take or leave, but that package is only about $700. And in my estimation, for the heated front seats and the dual zone climate control alone, it's worth it. And then you throw in the remote start and the heated steering wheel. That's a lot of value. This car in general is a very good value. I think the MSRP on this particular car is $22,695, and it does have a very high level of equipment, I think, for that price point. It has all the modern safety stuff as far as lane departure warning, intelligent cruise control. It's got blind spot monitors. It's got the emergency braking. It's got Apple CarPlay, backup camera, parking sensors. So very well equipped, and I think very good value for money. I have no idea what they're actually selling for. I'm filming this in the summer of 2022, and right now the car market is bonkers, bananas, cuckoo town. So I don't know if you can buy one of these for MSRP. I kind of doubt you can get a discount on one because nobody's really discounting anything right now with the car shortage. There may be markups on them. I have no idea. But if you could buy one for window in this day and age, I think that would be a very good value for money as far as the fact that you're getting a solid little car that is fun to drive and is very well equipped. Yeah, you get a little growl from the engine under full throttle, but it's not bad. Let's see, we'll make it growl some more here. Let's check the turning radius. Could be a little bit tighter maybe, but that's all right. We got it around. Oh boy. Stepping out in front of a big rig, boys. There's the CVT. Hear that? They call that motorboating. And who doesn't like motorboating? So, oh, okay, this person's gonna let me by. I'm a terror on the road in my Sentra SV. So let me see if I'm going to be clear here. See if I can get it to do it again. Oh, now see, that's so funny. These cars are so funny with their logic in the transmission. So what automakers have done now is they've made CVTs imitate traditional automatic transmissions. So the way that I explain it is this. In a traditional automatic transmission, the gears are fixed and the engine speed changes. So you hit your gas in a car like that and it goes boo, boo, boo. And the reason why you're hearing that is because the gear ratio stays the same, and as the engine speed changes, that's what causes the acceleration. A CVT does the opposite thing. It can make the engine speed stay the same, and it has sort of two cones and a chain that rotate apart and come back together and separate, and it's a constantly variable ratio, and that's what causes the forward momentum. So the weird thing about CVTs, and you typically only notice it under very heavy acceleration, is the engine RPM goes to one specific RPM and you're accelerating, but it doesn't sound like it because it's just wah, but you're doing 40, 45, 50, 55. And so there's a little bit of a disconnect between the engine speed and the road speed. The reason why they call that motorboating is because that's how you accelerate in a motorboat. You can go full throttle and then the boat picks up speed. That bothers some people. I don't really care about it. It actually bothers me when the CVT goes into its pattern to where it fakes shifts. That's all the car's computer telling it to do that. And the reason why they've programmed them to do that under a lot of situations in new cars is so that people don't complain. There's something wrong with my transmission, it's slipping. No, your salesperson just didn't explain it to you properly. There's nothing wrong with your transmission. Around town, CVTs are super smooth because you never feel them shift. So I like CVTs. I think they're actually a good thing. They're fuel efficient and they're smooth. And for most people buying a car, those are two things that they would really want to have in a car. A smooth, fuel efficient car. Who wouldn't want that, right? Now, one other complaint about the CVT is, oh, it's not sporty enough. Well, yeah, it's not, but you know, unless you're buying a manual transmission, none of them are that sporty. Oh, CVTs brake a lot. All automatic transmissions brake a lot. It just is what it is. So anyway, I like the CVT. I like the CVT in this Nissan Sentra. I like the Sentra in general, actually. This is where this car is the most fun to drive on kind of a twisty road. I did drive it in freeway traffic today, like 60 miles round trip, and it did fine there too. I just used the intelligent cruise control and rolled through it. If you have one of these and you don't know how to use your intelligent cruise control, I'll put a link to a video in the description to tell you how to use it. If you're considering buying one of these, if you're looking for a compact car, excuse me, I would definitely put this on your shopping list. If you're looking for one that drives kind of sporty, I think this kind of leans towards the sportier end. But if you don't really care and you're just looking for something comfortable, it's still relatively comfortable. So I think it hits a good medium. I would say that the Subaru Impreza probably has a smoother ride, and the Honda Civic probably has a little bit better handling, but this is kind of right in the middle, and based on the MSRP on this one, a very good value compared to just about anything else in the class. So put the Sentra on your shopping list. Leave me a comment below if you have one. Let me know how you like it. Please like my video, subscribe to my channel, and have yourself a fantastic day. Bye-bye.